I'm Dana Stevens, Slate's movie critic, here with an up-close look at a scene from one of my favorite recent DVD releases. Today we're going to look at a scene from A Serious Man. This Coen brothers film is the brothers' most autobiographical movie to date. In fact, it's the only remotely autobiographical movie they've ever made. Instead of taking place in the frozen wastes of Fargo, North Dakota, or the bleak vistas of East Texas, this story happens right where and when the Coens grew up. It's set in the claustrophobic environs of a nearly all-Jewish suburb in Minneapolis in the late 1960s.
You following this? Okay?
Michael Stuhlbarg plays Larry Gopnik, a math professor whose life is in free fall. As the movie begins, a host of unseen forces are converging to make Larry miserable. His wife reveals she plans to leave him for one of their oldest friends, his tenure review is being sabotaged by a disgruntled student, and the rabbis he consults for guidance respond only with incomprehensible anecdotes.
You know Lee Sussman.
Dr. Sussman? Yeah.
Did he ever tell you about the goy's teeth?
No? What goy?
In essence, A Serious Man is a retelling of the Old Testament's book of Job. Bad things happen to good people, and as much as we may try to understand God's purpose, we'll never know why he does what he does or whether he exists at all. In this scene, which occurs about 3/4 of the way through the movie, Larry goes to see his next-door neighbor, Mrs. Sansky, a mysterious woman who he's earlier witnessed sunbathing nude. The mezuzah on her door reminds us that the question of Judaism is central to the movie. Mrs. Sansky is one of the tribe, but she's also something different and exotic, as we see when she appears, framed by the scrim of the screen door, in her peculiar, almost Egyptian eye makeup.
Mr. Gopnik.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Samsky. I was gonna knock, and then I thought you weren't here.
I thought I heard something. Can I help you? Do you want to come in?
No!
It's cooler.
Oh, okay. I've noticed that Mr. Samsky isn't around. And
He travels.
Yeah. So I thought I should let you know, since you're somewhat new here, if you ever have, whatever, chores that you'd, or just help with something. I've decided to help others, you know? In a neighborly way.
How thoughtful.
Oh, it's nothing. It's just, good to know your neighbors and to help others. Although I don't care much for my neighbors on the other side, I must say.
Goys, aren't they?
Very much so. Although maybe it's not fair to judge. I have to admit,
Why don't you sit down?
Oh,
The production design is the star here. The Jefferson Airplane song playing faintly in the background reinforces the sense of otherness. Larry is somewhere he has never been.
I don't see you much around either.
Yes. Actually, I haven't been home a lot recently. My wife and I are, well, she's got me staying at the Jolly Roger, a little motel there on,
You're in the doghouse, huh?
The sudden loud sound of the beaded curtain is a great effect as she re-enters. It's almost threatening.
Thank you. I guess
Do you take advantage of the new freedoms?
Best line in the movie. He has no idea what she's talking about.
What do you mean?
Something I do. For recreation.
That's marijuana.
You'll find you'll need the iced tea.
Is it? Oh, okay.
After Larry and Mrs. Sansky get stoned, we see the world as they do, with the center of the image in focus and the edges blurred. The cinematographer, Roger Deakins, is very fond of this effect, and he uses it well. Here, the contrast between what we can see clearly and what we can't mirrors Larry's crisis of faith throughout the film.
Maybe Rabbi Scott was right.
Who's Rabbi Scott?
The junior rabbi.
The junior rabbi. What did he say?
He spoke of perception, All my problems are just a mirror? Is that a siren?
No. Sometimes people get paranoid. Holy cow, that is a siren.
In addition to being very funny and establishing a wonderful, languorous mood, this scene ends up being about one of the film's most important themes, the impossibility of knowing whether someone out there is really out to get you or whether you're just imagining it. Here, that someone is the police. In the larger context of the film, it's God. I think this is a good example of what the movie does so well, which is to pose big theological and existential questions in a very funny way, while at the same time maintaining an almost insane level of attention to details of time, place, and mood. I'll leave it to you to watch the movie and decide what God and the Coen brothers are up to in A Serious Man. For Slate V, I'm Dana Stevens.